are live. What is up, guys? So let's start with introducing everyone that's here so far right now. So I'm Nicole Alonso. I play Tank in Crawl or Die, and I'm here with my cast and crew, director of Crawl or Die Trilogy. So go ahead and introduce yourselves.
My name's Lorie. I play Mouse. My name is Reem, and I play V.
My name is Tana, and I play Thumper.
My name is Jamie, and I'm the hairstylist and director's assistant.
Guys?
Wait.
Your turn.
Can Elena and Ray, can you all hear me? Because my mic's muted over here. You guys hear us pretty well?
Yeah.
So I'm Oklahoma Ward, and I'm the writer, director, and all that kind of fun stuff. And then
Jeremy, and I play Scopes. Nathaniel Davis, I play Butcher.
yeah. And so I'm going to start off real quick.
Well, wait. This is Elena. She's going to be moderating, and this is Ray.
Yes.
Hello. Welcome.
There's two more.
Nicole and I have been living together for over 10 years, so you'll notice that's exactly what I was going to say, but she's going to finish every sentence I say.
Relationships.
First of all, Elena, thank you so much. It really, I love you to death for doing it. Ray, thank you for being here. It's really nice of you to do this. We're actually all very excited to talk to you all and listen to whatever questions you have, and then we'll try to answer them as best as we can, and then we'll just spout information to you all. But any questions you have, I don't care what it's about, we'll do the best that we can to answer it. And I don't care what off-the-wall question you all have. We're all actually really excited to get to talk to people, because most of the time we're talking to people that give us interviews in a written letter. So all of us are really thankful for this. It's really cool. So thank you all.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, for doing this.
Exciting.
So, Elena, I'm going to let you start with however.
Well, you know what? I requested a live from you guys, because I'm not familiar with all the characters. So it's, not only, everybody in Tulsa is like this one clique, and not many people know what you're doing. And we kind of hit friends around and like, hey, you know what, let's get together, because this is like a really cool project. We want other people to know what you're doing and what your campaign is for. So I don't know if you want to kind of run really quick with the new audience of the few that we have that, what is this really entitled? What is it for? How long does it take? What are some perks? The basic stuff that you really talk about as well. You're kind of touching a new audience on it.
Yeah, so here's what we'll do. I'm going to go over a couple minutes the basics, and I'm going to let Nicole do it because she's kind of like the forefront of the whole thing. So we are independent. We did a film about 7 years ago called Crawl or Die. It was a $5,000 budget initially. And then the distributor that picked us up forced us. They gave us $15,000 more and said we had to include some scenes, and we did. And we got international distribution. We're really excited because we did it all on our own with like a crew of like 7 people. And for that amount of money, what we created with the first movie kind of broke some barriers, as in we got international distribution. We screened at the Cannes Film Festival. We actually, without any money for PR, we were trending in the UK ahead of the Avengers movie that came out the same day that we did, all because of our fan base. And we have been showing every single month in the UK on television for, I think it was almost 2 years straight through. We got distribution in Switzerland. We got put on DirecTV. So it was a really big deal. But as every, and we're not bitching about this, but as every independent filmmaker will tell you, you have to sign the deal that you make. And while they made over 7.5 figures of money, We didn't make any money on the deal, but what we did gain is the attention of Hollywood. And we got a lot of offers dealt to Nicole and I afterwards. There was an article in Variety and Hollywood Reporter. We turned down a $13 million deal, and we lost a lot of friends of ours because we turned that deal down. But what people don't understand is what the deal did was that was the budget for the movie. There were 12 producers. They were all going to get paid $700,000 up front. So you do the math on how much was left to make the movie and how much we had to pay Nicole and I's salary. Plus, they had the right to fire us. So I think what people didn't understand is why we turned that money down. People only thought for like 2 years, well, they turned down 13 million. They're hard to work with. And we're like, we're not. It's just, it wasn't a good deal. And so Nicole and I spent the next 4 or 5 years. And we had other offers from like one of Ridley Scott's company. We had the original person that created Pokemon. They sat down and wanted to work with us. And what we decided is they were doing things like, we want Nicole's character to have a lesbian nude sex scene, or it always came down to they wanted her nude.
Yeah.
And we went, that's not what we're trying to do. I don't mind sexiness, but I created this because I wanted to show that a female can be just as strong as what I grew up with: Mad Max, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone. Those were not superheroes. They were just regular people. I'll take John McClane in Die Hard. What I loved about his character was he wasn't the strongest guy and he failed all the time. And I went, why can't a woman play that role? And so that's why I created this character, and I wanted to stick with it. So to make it short, we decided to spend 4 years of our lives flipping homes and saving all the money we could. And we found a producer that would kind of match what we had saved. And we decided we're going to make it on our own again. And that's where we're at. And really proud of it. I will say this before Nicole takes over. We are doing something that has never been done before, ever. And I can't share exactly what that is until we're done and I can show everybody. But I will say this: there has never been an independent company at our level of financing that has created a series of this quality. And so we're attempting something that hasn't been done before. And the only way that that's been possible is by these people and another 10 or 15 people that have dedicated themselves over the last year for free to work their ass off to make this possible. So that's where we're at. And then I'll let Nicole talk about why she decided to go, I will pee in a bucket because we live in a garage instead of having a toilet.
I love it. That's the information that you share first. Thank you so much.
So I'll let you go from there.
We use leaves as toilet paper.
Oh, you can ask everybody. We have the most makeshift shower on the planet, but nobody has ever griped about it. But you go ahead, Nicole.
It's like if you live at the beach, you just shower with like a little thing. It's fine. It works.
Sand, it's water in a drain and soap.
Yeah, it works. It works.
We are literally in a garage. But anyway, you go ahead and talk about the rest.
Oh God, you just put me on the spot. Okay.
Run with it.
Okay. No, I completely agree with everything he said. Did I do something? Was that me? Was that like a sound thing?
No.
Oh, okay. Tana.
Jeremy has gas.
She's managing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Check it out on Facebook.
anyways, yeah. So I agree with everything you said, and I'm actually very excited to be back and doing what we did the first time, except on a much larger scale, and upping like the quality and the amount of people involved and everything. It's been a truly exciting experience to be able to bring everything we did from the first one, everything we learned, and bring it all the way back around, and then come back with like a vengeance and be like, okay, now we're really going to do this and put everything we have into it. So it's been super fun. Bringing Tank back, because Tank is my hero. She's one of my favorite characters I've ever seen in movies, and I'm not saying that because I play her. I wished for a character like this in movies that I could watch. So being able to play her is like an honor. And then to be able to surround her with this team of people who are all incredibly talented and incredibly hardworking and believe in this just like we do, it's been the best experience of my life. Like, it's just been so fun and, you know, hard work and scary and blood, sweat, and tears, but it's been awesome. So I'm excited.
And I will say this before we start getting questions and talking. Here's how you'll know that this is true. There were 2 offers where people were literally, production companies that we were working with were saying that, you know, we can't have a lead that's a woman that people don't know. And Nicole literally was like, hey, look, let that known actress take over the role. I'm fine. I love that character. And I was like, excuse my language. I was like, no, what are you talking about? You're Tank. But what I did love is even the producers that offered us the big amount, they wanted her. Even the people, it wasn't Ridley Scott's main company, but his offshoot company, they wanted her. And the majority of the people wanted her. She's a little shy about, I just think that was a big accolade, and I know I've made the right choice in keeping her as the lead. But anyway, so that's kind of where we're at. I will say this. We are hoping to get some of the fans to help us out a little bit, because I don't want to go back to producers and ask for this little bit of money that we have to try and get it done this year, because they'll take more of the company and I don't want to give them control. So I went, well, let me go to the fans and see if we can raise it. And I think we're going to be able to, but even if we don't, we'll just work our jobs and it'll just take us a year to finish it versus us taking 3 or 4 months to finish it. So that's why we're here, hoping. We don't want people just to give us money in donation, but we're trying to give them really cool perks that will help us out and hopefully give some stuff to the fans.
Hi, Jonathan. Hi, Matt. Hi, Mary. Hey, Larry. What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in.
Hello.
Also, Ray, I gotta say, mad respect for your collection behind you. That is
that is one
cool.
awesome.
Damn. Like, I almost
Oh, Levi.
I want to do a separate tour with you. Like, you just show me all their cool stuff. That's amazing.
We need some details.
Yeah.
Yeah, labor of love for sure.
Yeah, that's some commitment right there.
So, Elena, I guess we'll defer to you and kind of guide us on what you guys want to know and what we can share with you. And
So I got Ray.
Yeah. Over that way.
So he just finished watching the movie. So
Okay.
I want to get your overtake, because sometimes, you know, I can talk to you, Oak, and, you know, I can edify you and fill your head up. You know, that doesn't really do me good. I really want to talk to my buddy Ray, which I can.
Yeah, go right ahead. Right ahead.
Let's really talk about, what did you think of the movie? I mentioned in an earlier live, I got motion sickness. I got total Cloverfield vibe, claustrophobic. I had to pause it a few times because it did scare the shit out of me, but it was overall, like, you know, independent. Like, I haven't seen, you got vibes from every, you know, horror aspect of movies, but it was its own movie in its entirety. Ray, what did you think?
Thank
So
you.
I have to agree. I actually had to pause a couple times because I was getting dizzy. I didn't realize. I don't know if it was because I was sitting a certain way. So I'm like, okay, let me just, you know, let me move around a bit. And that's when I noticed more and more moving along the movie. Like, now I can see why. Like, with the whole claustrophobia type feel, because I really don't have that, I guess.
I don't either.
But
Yeah.
but it just, I had, like I said, I did have to pause it a couple of times. Like, what's going on? Like, all right, it's the movie. I didn't realize how much.
Yeah.
Because me personally, I love movies. I'm a movie junkie, so I get invested in them. And right away when I was watching in the beginning, right away I messaged Elena, like, I'm getting these type of like Alien, Resident
Yeah.
Evil, Pandora, excuse me, type
Yep,
vibes.
yep.
Like
Mhm.
right away, like, all right, cool. I'm following it. I'm digging it, and then right away I saw that in the beginning, the when you're going inside, into,
Uh-huh.
and then you see like the alien tail or whatever. That was fucking dope. I love it. All right, that's cool.
Thank you.
But it's fucking awesome. I like it a lot. It's so rare, especially when it comes to watching a woman type that takes over the movie. You know, it's rare, and that is like, and you can see the vulnerability. You can see the realness of your face. Like, all right, and like then it's awesome. I liked it a lot, and I'm gonna watch it again as soon as we're done because I'm going back in my mind. I'm replaying the scenes over and over. And
Yeah.
it's awesome. I liked it. I liked it a lot for sure.
Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's what I tell people. I had to make the decision knowing the amount of money I had and the amount of time. I made decisions and went, how can I make the best thing? I don't have the time or the opportunity right now, nor do I think the movie overall needed a backstory or some of the things that Hollywood usually does with movies.
Yeah.
And I went, I had $5,000, and I went, I've got 4 or 5 people, and I went, let me just try to give people an experience. And while I knew that would alienate some people, and it did, and I completely understand it. I want to know, why didn't you tell me more about the backstory or what's going on? I went, you know what? Let me just see if I can connect with an audience and make her performance, because I think that she's a really good actor, be enough of a connection. And I think it works, and I'm really proud of it. But I also my hope in doing that movie was to gain the amount of traction that we did so that I could raise enough money to go, now I'm at a place to where I can surround myself with actors and a production crew behind the scenes that I can open the story up and be more immersive in learning why Tank does what she does and all of that. And of course, because I am a stubborn person, as Elena knows, I just don't want to make a sequel. I'm going to make 6 sequels and make them all the same quality and not just make it something. And I'm not putting YouTubers down. Trust me. I guarantee you, YouTubers probably make more money than I do. But I want to make every single episode very high quality. And if you don't have a ton of money, what that means is it takes time and it takes dedication. And all these people here have jobs. They're not getting paid anything. And yet they're still showing up and throwing themselves into every scene and everything I'm asking them to do. And so I'm really proud of what we've been able to create and achieve so that I can open up the world of who Tank is and what everything was going on. I kind of picture Crawl or Die as a teaser to the story I wanted to tell. And I think that's what we did. And that's what we're going to put out there.
So Levi in the chat is saying strong female roles are the shit. Thank you, Levi. And he says Andy forever. Thank you. Hello, Larry. All the ladies in our movie are badasses. Go Tank Army. Thank you, Larry. You're a badass.
Now,
And Tommy says hello. Hi, Tommy.
I'm going to say this, and I'm probably going to get in some trouble for saying this. Make no mistake, I'm not interested in telling a story and going, hey, she's a, believe me, I love women and all the women are strong in their own ways. But it's more about the character of Tank. I just wanted to create a character like Mad Max, like John McClane, like Arnold in every movie he does, like Rocky. And I just went, I love superhero movies, but I want to see somebody who's human, and she doesn't need to be a guy. She can still be strong, and she's not going to win, but she keeps going. And that was my main thing. I wanted to create that type of character. And so that's my goal. I'm not on like an agenda of be like, hey, yeah, F men and only women. I'm like, because I have some really strong men in here too. But it was very important for me to go, I want to show that a woman can be just as badass as a guy, and also acknowledge in this movie, she gets into a confrontation with a guy who's just physically stronger and can kick her ass. But does she keep going? And that's where her strength is. Maybe she loses a battle here. Maybe she gets her ass kicked here, but she keeps going. And to me, I make movies. I want them to be sexy. I want them to be fun. I want them to be thrilling. I don't want to pound people over the head. But I told all these actors from the very beginning, there is an underlying message, and it's for men and women. I don't care your politics, religion, any of that. I just want people to have a hero that goes, no matter what happens, I'm going to keep trying. And I think that's the most important thing that's important to me. And I think that that's the message of Tank and everything that she does. She's going to lose 90% of the time, but she keeps going. And so that's what's important to me. That's why I created her.
Okay, so I know that, okay, I have a question for Nikki, a very important one. We'll put a pin on that. But I have one question for you, Oak. And I already know when you come up with your weird ideas. But
Oh, God.
do you recall what you were doing or what you were inspired by to come up with the plot of this movie? What can you actually tell us without giving away?
Okay. Oh, Lord. Okay. I'll make this as short as I can. My mom, I grew up with her as an artist, and I watched how the art world treated her because she was a woman. And she's a better artist than me. She's a better artist than a lot of males that were represented by art galleries. And so that always gave me an anger because it didn't make sense to me that people aren't judged on their actions, but they're judged on the fact that they're a female or how they look or whatever. It didn't make sense to me. And so that's always been like this anger inside of me. And then, so I didn't understand while I was watching, and I love them to death. Die Hard, Road Warrior, Mad Max. I just went, why is it always men? And why is it okay for these good-looking men to be walking around without a shirt on, showing all their muscles? But if a woman feels sexy walking around in panties, that's a whole different thing. That's too sexy. So it was all of that. And then plus my love of movies like The Great Escape, in those tunnel scenes, Aliens, going in that tunnel scene when Bishop went in there scared me to death. I was like, how are you going to fight an alien if you can't move your arms? So when I sat down to write it, I went, if I'm going to be independent, why don't I pull everything together that I love, pay homage to Alien, pay homage to the Mad Max series with the Mohawk, and pull it all together? And why can't I just make what I would love to see? And also things that are important to me. And I didn't want to bash anybody over the head. I just wanted to make a cool character that was female. And so I put all that together, and I had to be really smart and go, I only have this amount of money, and how can I control the environment? So I went, I'm going to build a mouse trap down there. And which is literally what I did. I built the whole thing, and I went, here's the movie. You're going to go in the tunnel here, and you're going to exit here, and that's the whole movie. And what I'm going to rely on is your performance. And people are going to connect with you based on your performance or not. And I believe that she's talented enough that, you know, the fans that we have, I think, connected with her. And that was kind of it. Plus, you know, she has a great booty. I am so guy.
All truth.
But
What about you, Ray?
Well, you mentioning the tunnel. Was that built?
Yeah, I can say this now. Yeah, almost all the tunnels were built. There were tunnels that we built that Hollywood could never do because she did get stuck in that last dirt tunnel, and we had to cut her out. Like, so that's one of the great things about being independent is, and I'm in a relationship with her. I'm like, get your ass in that.
I don't care if you die. It's for the art.
She can talk about it. And just like now, like if people get stuck in something, I'm like, hey, we'll get you out, but it's going to take us like 5 minutes. So it is a little harrowing, and I am proud of everybody for getting into situations. But yeah, we did build everything we built. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That's totally awesome.
Yeah,
I think that contributed to your acting, like, because I truly felt the pain, I felt the frustration, like the whole everything basically. So that's knowing that that tip there. I didn't know that, but that's awesome. That's really
Yeah, it was probably very
a lot
real.
of the frustration was very real because it was actually happening, and it was not like a section of tunnel in the first one, especially. It was not a section. Like we built like really long sections, so I was literally crawling through this whole thing. And so if I got stuck and they had to take me out, it would take like a good 45 minutes to like disassemble the set.
Oh wow.
So it was it was especially that dirt tunnel, and plus breathing in all that dirt, and then also trying to give a performance and everything. So a lot of that frustration was real.
And there was a challenge on how do we get the camera in that such small space. And then, and I'm gonna let her expound on this, and these people haven't experienced it too much yet, but there were scorpions in the dirt.
Spiders.
There were spiders in the dirt. But I just tell all the actors, I don't give a damn, get in there. And if you get bit, let's get it on camera.
Right. If you get stuck, just use that.
Yeah.
Use the
What
tape.
happened? Take the camera.
Yeah.
It's recording.
But also, you got caught under the floor. Like, you really got caught under that.
Yeah.
You know the scene where she's flat underneath, where it's like this little flat floor that she crawls under? She actually did that. There she got mad at me. Like it literally took us almost an hour to get her out of that.
Oh,
yeah.
And
you have to like get into a very zen headspace when that happens, and just be like, I'm fine. I'm not gonna die. I'm okay, and just talk to yourself. But
that's not exactly the words she used for me when she got caught. But that's a very polite way of what she was saying to me.
Get me the hell out of here!
There were a lot of curse words in there, but but we did get her out. But this time we have incorporated fire, we've incorporated water, and so you know, I put people in really tough ruling situations, but I go
after they sign the release.
After they sign the release, I joke. I go, if you get hurt, we're going to roll you off the property and act like we don't know you. But the truth is, I do go the extra mile to make sure that they're safe. I mean,
I will say I've never felt in danger on any of the sets. I've been in uncomfortable situations where I didn't want to be there for that long, but I never felt
everybody
in
that's in the
actual
tunnel
danger.
behind Matt Crabtree feels
That's true. So Lori's husband Matt
has a lot of gas.
Eats a lot of bean burritos,
anyway.
and it's dangerous to be behind him.
Yeah,
for sure.
We have some of that on sound, I know.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
We do.
It'll make blooper reel, absolutely.
So I have the set of the girls on one side, and the guys on the other. But we're gonna take it to the girls now.
Yeah.
We're gonna let. I'm gonna have questions for like the actual stars of the story. You know, the storyline. But you know, and I know Jamie. Jamie, you helped direct, right?
Yeah, of course.
So my question to you is, what is it really like working with Oak?
Ooh, is that
I
question
feel
for
like
me or everybody?
y'all should answer before
It's
me.
awful.
We just need to get it on camera, you know?
That'd be the easiest word.
I'll answer that.
You
Wonderful
pipe
work.
out over there. You.
What we have going on?
He said he's asking the girls. I'll let them answer before me because I'm with him. We've been together for like 100 years, whatever. So for me, it's probably different than for them because we're in a relationship. So I'll let them kind of answer their
Okay,
experience.
let me just start for a second because then I'll let all these girls go because they're actors, you know, and they're doing something that I definitely can't do. But being able to work behind him,
You hush. He hates any sort of compliments. So.
being able to work behind him and seeing what's going on in the camera is truly one of a kind, unique experience. It's been so fun for me to learn the way that he does things and why, and to be able to help, and to even feel like I have some of his eye at certain times so I can aid in whatever he's needing. But be able to watch him talk to the girls and the guys about what they're supposed to be doing and how to get in that headspace has been really cool. I've never had the opportunity to see that before. Don't
He's
be
dying.
upset.
He's dying.
dying over there.
If it wasn't sepia, he'd be bright red right now. Like a tomato.
I wouldn't trade it at all. I really enjoy coming out here and learning so many new things and just being able to be a part of this process. There's such a great team that we have. Everybody coming together as a group to work on something like this it's amazing. It's one of a kind.
Ladies,
That's awesome.
Who else?
Reem's like,
I'm like,
What
what
should
should I say?
Reem got shot with a blood cannon more than anyone on the set. So
I hate
she's
him
a little
for
bit.
that. And
she's
what
a-
else?
She's a little salty.
Freezing temperature. I hate him for that. No, working with him has been really awesome. I don't think I've ever met anyone so patient with his actors. It doesn't matter how many times you have to do something. He's always really
Facts.
patient, really understanding. Yeah.
Yeah, facts. I'm like 20 take tank, so
20 take tank.
he's very patient.
And he's very kind too. He makes sure that you're okay before we start anything.
The safety and comfortability is actually very high.
Like even I remember during fittings in the beginning, Oak's so cautious about if he's like, can I touch you? Like, is it okay to point
Yeah.
at this area of your body to show them like where he's always very like, make sure everyone feels secure.
Yeah, and I'm like,
protected.
I know you now. It's fine.
Just grab it. It's fine.
I'm gonna touch you. It's right here.
Right.
Okay with it.
Your upper left shoulder area. Is that all right?
I need a little bit of oil, and it's gonna be right here. I'm gonna touch you where it needs to go.
But for me, I'll say that I've always enjoyed working with him since even before we were together. That's how I met him. I was in one of his films, and that's before we were dating. He's so good at working with actors. Like he has a way of figuring out exactly what each actor needs to give a performance, and then being very patient with them and helping them to find that. And
I made
For
her
me-
bawl and cry 3 days
well,
ago.
for me,
I
unfortunately
like how
for me,
nice they're being.
no, unfortunately for
That's
me,
what our
mine
girlfriend
is
said about
I need to be screamed at sometimes. I need to be pissed off. So he will do that for me. And sometimes other actors are like, maybe he's being a little harsh, but no, I need that. So he'll be like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, fuck you! And then I give the best performance. So
Okay,
it just,
well, I didn't know she was going to
he
let those
figures
bones
out.
out of the bag,
but
okay.
everybody's different. So he's very patient and good at figuring that out. For
Very
sure.
much agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks for the interview, Elena. We got going out. Thanks.
Let me just here. Hold on. Let me just, there you go. All right. Oh, it switched. Oh,
There
okay.
you go.
Lori, care to comment?
Well, it's very kind of you.
Lori?
I agree with y'all. He's very patient and he knows how to get you in your headspace and
God.
Yeah. We call her Mouse for a reason.
I was
Very
gonna
quiet.
say, I'm like, wait a minute. So she lived up to her
Yes.
her name.
Yes.
I'm like, she doesn't talk.
She's very
She's
cute.
very cool on her TikToks. Don't think I haven't seen them.
Oh, yeah. I said the same thing. When we first met her, I was like, how's she like got like 20,000
Yeah.
Facebook followers?
No,
She's
no,
all
look.
like, oh.
The first month I worked with this girl, I think she said 7 words. And literally, I was like, man, that's a shy person. And then Nicole was like, look at her TikTok. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
She's
like slapping her butt and
like,
stuff on
yeah,
TikTok. I'm
I'm
like, damn.
Okay. I was
He's
like,
like,
from
man.
now on, every time I was like, you liar, and you start talking.
You're full of it.
Yeah.
We love you.
I think it was at Christmas or
Yeah.
something whenever her and Matt came down. And I think maybe Oak asked her a question and she looked right at Matt like, what's my answer?
Are you gonna answer?
there was no words.
Yep. We love her though. We love her.
Matt knows what I think. Answer.
Yeah. So that's what it's like working with me. Apparently, to all of them, it's a dream. Here's
No,
what
we
I'll
have-
tell you.
We have one more. Tana still has to.
Oh
go.
yeah,
Yeah, Tana.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh,
Well, she wrote the nicest thing the other day. So, oh
Yes,
God.
she did.
Essentially, yeah, I was going to further elaborate on everyone has their own process, and what I admire about Oklahoma Ward
Oh my
is
God.
he's able to draw that out of every single actor individually. Because we all need tank needs yelled at.
Mm-hmm.
I need my first take to be thrown out the window. I am two take.
Two take Tana.
Two take Tana. Joker, Matt Crabtree, I think he works best at confusing the hell out of him, telling him to do 3 things at once and then throwing it all out the window to get him right where he needs to be. So I just respect his knack for knowing
Process.
Yeah.
individuality.
Mhm.
We all need something different.
Yeah.
And my mom actually asked me something. It kind of tied into comfortability in working with you. I've never minded it at all, but she asked, why? Not if we're comfortable. Why are we so scantily clad? And I thought maybe you would maybe elaborate a
It's
bit.
so moody.
I explained my takeaway from that, but
Sure.
Because you're hot.
Yeah.
Because if you have something
Yeah,
I
to
mean,
say,
I have a
Show it.
legitimate reason for it.
I
in the
mean,
story.
Why has Arnold always got his shirt off? That's the
No,
question.
that's not the real reason. The real reason is what I loved about the original Alien movie was those weren't soldiers and they had nothing to fight this creature with. And I went, why is it if I'm in a house late at night and I think somebody's coming in the door, the first thing I do is I get up and I go, I gotta put some pants on to run down there to confront somebody. And I go, why is that? And I go, it's because you feel vulnerable. So I've written the story to where they are literally woken up. I don't want to give too much of the story away, but they are woken up out of a sleep and they're in what they fell asleep in. And I went, because there's nothing that makes, I don't know why. I don't know what a pair of pants or that sheet when you were a kid and you pull it over your head. I don't know why that gives us strength, but I went, I want these people to not have a shield. And it just makes the whole movie and them feel more vulnerable.
Buns out, guns out. We're good.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And so that was the reason. I mean, I will say this. One of the critiques I got on the first movie was, oh, of course you have the woman, scantily. And I went, oh, that wasn't the reason I did it. But I went, I'm going to be aware of that and I'm going to prove it to you. And I guarantee you, there are men in this movie that are more scantily
Yes.
clad
Yes.
than she is.
100%. 100%.
And it's all done for a reason. I also love sexuality and I think it's great to have guys and girls that are fun to look at, but I have every shape, I have every size, and I made sure that everybody felt comfortable and just threw it all out there because it's I didn't want people to think that, well, Nicole has a great butt and that's the whole movie. And I'm like, no, that's not it. I wanted to make sure that there was a specific reason, and it's that I went, if I had to fight something, well, how would I feel the most vulnerable? And I was like, well, it'd be to be completely naked. And I was like, but I can't have 12 people crawling down a tunnel completely naked. But I was like, I can put them in their sleepwear and in their underwear. And
So
And so that's the
Shadia
reason.
Basma in chat says, hi everyone. For me's mom.
Oh, that's
hi.
Mama. Come
Chris says, I think he's awesome at directing. I agree with Tana.
all right, I'm going to
Oklahoma,
take 2 minutes and I'm
super
going to tell
easy
you
to
all
work
something
with. Look,
now.
I'm going to show that on screen because
This is so kind of them in my presence to say this. I am really hard on them. And what I do love about these people is they will let me get upset during a scene. They will let me change the scene, make them do 20 takes or 1 take, or tell them 3 days later, what you did didn't work. We got to do it again. And I don't have to worry about anybody breaking down, getting mad or arguing with me. I will say this.
Wow.
They've all been very kind and trusting, and it's a good thing because if they didn't, I would have fired them. But it's just because I've made them all a promise on day one, and I think they remember it. I told them, I promise I will not let you look bad in this movie. And I believe that my goal is to push them to make sure that they give the best performance, because I do not want them to be embarrassed. I would cut them out of the movie before I would let them put a performance out and be embarrassed about it. And that's the only thing I can really give them, since I'm not giving them money. So it's really nice that they're being also polite that I'm here.
He threatened our lives.
Yeah.
No, we're kidding.
But I am really proud of them because they take we're not being kind all the time. Anyway, so
Okay.
there you go. And put the joint down, Elena. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were taking the joint right there. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. So that's where I was trying to fix. I'm like, I think.
Yeah, I know. You had to mute that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I got the girls. So now the guys. What? I want to give them a different question. Not just the same one. But what did you like working with? Like everyone in general, like your character, whoever you played. I mean, did you relate with everyone else in the movie?
Yeah, we pretty much relate with everybody. The first thing that we did before we even started filming, we just all sat down, talked, really got to know each other, so that we weren't just a bunch of strangers thrown in together, so that we had that cohesion and really just become a family on set.
Yes.
I love your shirt for this.
Nope.
Nope. Not today, buddy.
Rhymes with,
And Nate?
scopes.
Yeah, no, it's
Nope scope.
pretty much friendly with one another. I mean, we play really well off each other, so it's been super easy.
I will say that this is being the fourth project I've worked on. I'm a little famous for firing people all the time. This is the first crew that I think gets along the best together. They do feed off each other. They talk when they're off set, and they come back on set with ideas. And I would love to win the lottery and go, I'm going to pay all these people a salary for the next 10 years and just make a 150-hour
Make a Lord of the Rings
project
epic.
with them, because I really do enjoy them. I get frustrated with them. I push them. But I really do enjoy all of them. I really do. It's the first movie. And that's not to say if anybody from the other movies are like, he's talking about me. And if you're thinking that, I probably am talking about you. But I really have enjoyed this crew a lot. And I think they all kind of know each other in different ways. I think they all kind of, everybody knows Nicole is a little snobbish, but other than
Come
that,
on,
we
no.
all kind of like each other.
I am not. I swear to God.
Okay, Nikki, here's your $1 million question.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm nervous.
so I feel like Tank, is our actual lead first Latina, fucking warrior, pretty much what we got for us that represents us. Because I don't think I have, and I can, man, I don't think I have any. I don't know if you know any, Ray. Do you know any Hispanic lead actresses that I can say like we can compare to? Yeah, Tank is like the badass woman, female. Point period.
That's
How does it feel to be that actual first? Unless someone can fact check me, I sincerely believe that this is the movie that's going to an indie film is going to be the first to present maybe our first lead actress that just represents us.
Yeah. Like saying that, when I think of it off the top of my head, you're right. Like all growing up, all of my action heroines that I loved, like Tomb Raider and all those types, I can't think of one that is Latina. Like I think they're all not Latina. I don't want to say specifically, but they're not Latina. So it impactful to hear that, because I will say that like during filming, I wasn't necessarily thinking about that and how impactful that might be. But then hearing it, I'm like, oh shit, like it's actually a huge deal. And I'm super proud. And I hope that my performance and what I bring to it and the type of role that I'm playing can live up to what would be expected of that. And I think that it can, and I hope that it will. And I'm super proud of how I've played Tank and who she is and what she's going to represent for our community. And so, yeah, I'm super stoked about that. I'm really proud. Like, it's almost
because I can think of
emotional to even say that, because even when you think about it in the terms of like seeing women in empowering roles to begin with, I get emotional about that. And so knowing that I could potentially be the first Latina, like in a series of movies, like, yes, there's powerful Latina actresses like J-Lo and stuff that we know, but as far as like the Resident Evils and the Tomb Raiders and all those types of movies, we don't have that. And so that's crazy to me. And I'm like, shit, like, holy shit, that's a big thing to shoulder. But I also feel like I hope to do that role proud, and I hope that I can. So I'm super stoked about it. No,
you don't want the love.
So, what about you, Ray? You got anything?
I wanted to ask you, so the inspiration that you had for the first movie to play your character, are you also bringing the same for this new movie, or is it like a completely different like take?
Well, it is similar in the sense that Tank is who she is, but Tank has been through a fucking lot in the first movie. Like, she lost her whole fucking team. Sorry, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but she lost her whole team. She failed. She lost her package. She gets shunned and all that. I don't want to give too much away of the new movie, but essentially she's fucked up in the eyes of like the group that she works for. Yeah. So she is mentally fucked up. She's going through a lot of shit, and then she's forced into this new situation that she's having to basically enter something again, and she has all that on her shoulders, and she's worried about that, and she knows what they're going to again, and the team around her doesn't necessarily understand what's happening. And Tank's just like, you guys don't fucking understand what we're walking into, and I do. And so it is similar in that she is still at the core who she is and what Tank is, but she has been through so much that I don't think that could not change anyone. And even in the beginning of the I don't know what to call it, of the movies that we're making, she goes through more shit that you guys are going to see that's really horrible. And so she's dealing with a lot, but she's still at the core is the type of person that will not quit, will not give up, and is going to keep pushing no matter what. So that is definitely still there for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for
Ray.
great question.
Start popping out those questions.
I like it. So,
no, well, I mean, it's like you guys had so much fun, like filming this movie. Are you coming out with a blooper reel?
Oh yeah. Oh, there's so many bloopers on the set.
I really want to see the butt in the water. And
we could probably put out a whole separate movie that's just bloopers.
Oh, you heard that?
Yeah.
So hilarious.
My butt floats apparently. But I like to sing, so I don't know what to tell you.
Everybody else nailed the water scene, and for some reason, Nicole literally looked like a blow-up doll that you threw in water and were trying to dunk underwater. I was like, "What are you doing?" And she was like, "Don't I look badass?" I was like, "Well, your ass is in there. One foot is in there."
What made it worse is I was trying so hard to like be cool about it. I was like, "Yeah," just floating. It's terrible.
I definitely witnessed that one. It was the funniest.
Yeah.
She got a full mohawk, so going underwater means that there's only one take on that. If
or
she goes
or
under,
it's another like
just redo it real quick.
Yeah.
So she was ready and she was going
like,
all
I got
slow
this. I
and
got
gonna drop down below the
Yeah.
Nothing sank, dude. Nothing sank. So then I just like dunked my head.
Wait, so she went down to like right about here, like, and then like slipped around and came back up and was like, wait. Oh, like that was it. It's done. Sorry.
Oh,
And then in camera, the most beautiful part of it was what was sticking up behind her. I was like, what is that? And I was like, oh my God, that's her
my
butt.
flotation
Her
device.
butt and feet are just went straight up in the air.
My
I was
built-in
like, oh my God.
flotation device.
So she couldn't get
It's
her head to
honestly-
go down all
You know
the
what?
way.
You know what? Fuck you guys. All you guys, leave me alone.
No, it's your greatest asset.
My greatest
You're
ass.
great at that. That's good.
So Thomas in the chat is saying, love the first movie and Oklahoma's crazy tunnel ideas in it. Tank is awesome and someone needs to change the battery in the smoke alarm.
What?
It is
The
turning.
beeping.
I've heard it.
Oh, I didn't even hear
I
it.
didn't notice
I
it.
heard it
It's over
2
there.
times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Thomas.
And then Rola
Here's the crazy
Basma
thing.
says, hi,
We
Reem
don't
sees
have a
hi,
smoke alarm.
Hello.
What is that?
It's still not stop that.
We don't have a smoke alarm, so something might be ready to explode. I don't know what
Yeah.
that is.
It does sound like
You have to have
It's
one.
a
That
movie
is-
set.
Obviously.
You never know.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, it is me.
No, it's her.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
you.
it's her, it is. Like, oh.
Oh,
all of ours are working fine. Thank you very much.
Here comes the fireworks.
Right, right.
I was like, I
Yeah.
didn't hear
Layla.
it.
Just
What
one
are you
more
guys talking about?
It's funny. There must be a speaker over there because I was like,
Oh, hey,
"It's over there."
It's Elena's.
I know. I was looking that way in the room, like, well, where is it? Let me just. check the
Reem's
battery out.
sister is here.
I know. We said hello,
Yes,
Rola.
yes,
Yeah.
How do you say her name?
Rolla.
Rola. Hello, Rola.
Hello.
What up? What up?
You guys ready for a great director moment? Here we go. Well, that's funny, Reem. You never even told us you had a sister.
Oh.
What? Yeah, you didn't. Actually, you didn't.
Oh, really?
She told me once. God, that's so
She
weird.
did. She did. You could crawl or you could
I
die.
thought she
from
was
that
an
dude.
only child.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You could die from that.
So yeah, there's where we're at.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Who
question.
else has something funny?
Oh God,
Oh,
there's so many
God.
things.
Funny story?
Yeah,
Oh.
like on set. Because with the, you know what, I can't stand your ass, Oak. You know, I seriously. It's like,
Baby,
every
you love
time
me,
we were
I love
together.
you. Shut your mouth. Anyway, yeah, y'all go ahead.
Ooh, funny stuff.
You got one?
I would
Pretty much
say
anything with Butcher.
Yeah, this guy has the best off the cuff lines. I
surely
mean,
we
there
have
was
some
a
of those
lot.
on the blooper reel.
Yeah,
So I just went on what you gave me. I was like, what do you want me to do? And you're like, the ship is shitty. I was like, not a problem.
yeah.
This thing's
And
terrible.
I would say we could start off, and this will help everybody. This is the craziest thing. By the way, I love that you asked that question. Here's the craziest thing. Here's what I've learned about actors. Actors, now, ignore what you're going to hear, but actors are actors because they're like, we want the attention. But then, when you ask them to talk on like this,
Yeah.
this is what all actors do. I'm like, what in the living hell?
No,
Okay, so
I'm
I'll
an
give you
actor
a
because
for
I play a
instance.
character, so I can play Tank all day long.
Notice the lead
myself.
talks the most. I'll use Reem for an example. Reem, for some reason, became the person that every time she walked on this set,
Why you hiding?
we blasted her in the face with a blood cannon.
Oh, that was
Over
funny. They said funny.
and
That was
over
funny.
and over.
It's pretty funny.
And it actually became like a meme and a joke. Nobody on this set has been doused in blood from head to toe, in the face, on the top of her head, from behind her. And I'm literally, it's now become a joke in the movie, and this will be a little thing that you all can notice. I go, you know what? Let's have somebody get blown up, get killed behind Reem. And then I'll be like, Reem will be like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, yeah, just turn it. And she'll be like, wham. And it's literally, we go to the edit, and Nicole and I laugh our ass off. I'm like, here comes Reem. Bam. She gets hit with blood. So that's been one funny thing that's happened. And Nicole, you go ahead because you talked to us.
Well, the worst one for me is her. He's not here right now, but I'm gonna show you his GIF so you guys know who I'm talking about. This guy right here. All right? That's Joker. His name is Matt. He has a gas problem. He just does. I don't know if it's diet or whatever. But we filmed this whole scene.
Sandwiches.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
he eats a lot of sandwiches. Maybe he has
Tell us
like 7 pieces of bread and like 1 piece of meat, and he just eats that. So we filmed this whole scene, and we're in tunnels, mind you, in these little confined fucking tunnels. And we're in there, and we film the scene, and everybody else gets out, and I'm crawling behind Matt, like trying to get out, and he just blasts me right in the face with the biggest, nastiest fart. My mouth was open. I was like, I started gagging. I had to like run to the other end of the tunnel and the whole thing, and he just thought that was hilarious. And then he's much bigger than I am, so he blocked the exit. He would not let me out, and I was like, "Fuck you, get out!" It was terrible.
It is to back that up. It's like one of those embarrassing things. But I learned as a director because pizza is so cheap. It's one of the things that you don't want to give an independent crew because it's greasy food,
especially not in tunnels.
And,
Matt says, "Hey, shut up." I won't shut up, Matt. You did it. You own it.
I was carrying the sound at one point whenever I was behind Matt for something that was going on, so I had the sound right in my hand when Matt was in front of me and let one go, and I also slapped her afterwards.
It becomes a very intimate crew. And
Levi LaFleur says, "What was your favorite scene, Thumper?"
To film.
Ooh.
Go.
Yeah.
If we're going off of what we were just talking about, I would have to say there was a scene where Tank crawls over me in the 16-inch diameter tunnel, so it's cramped.
Oops.
It's cramped. It's the smallest tunnel. Okay, and director says, "I want Tank to crawl over you." We're covered in blood, so it's slippery. It's not fun. Okay?
And Vaseline and shit.
And he's like, "I want you to make it look real. Make it look as uncomfortable as you can make it." So she's arms, elbows,
and I have a big gun too.
Tank has a full metal weapon. It is not. It's
real.
not a prop.
It's not real, but it's a really metal.
It's an airsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, Oak's like, "Make it as authentic and painful as you can get it." Tank's crawling over Thumper, right? Bam! Butt of the gun goes where? Right on my pubic bone. And I'm like, "Man, Oak, I hope this looks good because it is authentic and it hurts.
This is real.
Please get it on camera."
My bad.
no acting here.
So everyone knows that I'm extremely clumsy. Like they don't ever allow me to have any real type of knife or weapon because it never fails. I will like throw that right in somebody's foot on accident. Like I'm terrible. So I'm sorry. Like I didn't mean to do that.
Really?
I mean,
I'm not.
it looked good in the scene.
It looked
so
great.
it works. So Rolla says, any injuries?
I've definitely scraped my elbows a few times. Those bleeding elbows.
Yeah.
Lots of bumps and bruises for sure.
Crawling
Lots
in
of
tunnels
bruises.
hurts your knees. I'll tell you that.
Yes.
I will
Yeah.
say, Oklahoma's
Elbow.
killer line is make it look authentic. Fall
And
on
so
your
we're like-
elbow. Fall on your knee. Make it look real.
Yeah.
So take a elbow. Take a knee. So
Yes.
you find yourself mentally thinking, "Man, I'm gonna fall right here. I'm gonna slip, and it's gonna hurt."
And
And
it
it
does.
does.
It does.
Even for me, just doing the assisting and lighting and trying to get things, helping with script, I slipped off one of the the higher tunnels one time that was pretty big, and there was a couple steps on the way down. Like I thought, no big deal, and I dislocated my shoulder. Like as I hit the ground, I was like, "Good God, that didn't feel right." So it took me a few days to figure out that it was not good. But I mean,
Yeah.
the safe is
And this
set.
one took a nosedive off of like one step for some reason. She like made it all the way down the stairs, and the last step she just fucking ate it.
Yeah.
This
I
one, this
wrote down as
one
well.
slid
She
all the
made
way
it.
down on her butt.
No, it
we
was like,
we hear
thunk,
it.
thunk, thunk,
Yeah,
thunk.
we were like,
Jake was like, "I'm like, I'm good." Sitting at
Yeah,
the bottom
she
of the
just
stairs, like,
I turned and I looked. I was like, I think that was Tana, and then her go, "I'm good.
I'm good.
I think the
I also
scariest
did
moment
to
for
help
me
you. I was
of
like,
when
No.
actually
that was
Believe
somebody
me, I'm
almost really got hurt was Lorie. For some of the fire scenes, we used a flamethrower, but then also Lorie knows how to blow fire out of her mouth. And we were in a tunnel scene, and she blew fire down a tunnel, and we, just as she did it, we got a backdraft of wind, and it turned the fire around and blew it right back at her face. And she ducked in time, but it did singe her hair and eyebrows. That was the scariest moment for me because even though we're all joking around, I go the extra depth to try and make sure that everybody's safe. But you know, you are doing stunts, and
Yeah.
even the greatest Hollywood pictures, there could be a problem. But I go out of my way to make sure everybody's safe. And I even had her like 3 feet behind the tunnel. And
Fire extinguisher.
that was one of the moments that I went, scared me.
Yeah.
And thankfully everything was fine, and she was back far enough that she ducked as it was happening. But it was just one of those things that you can't control. Like, ironically, a wind blew through the building just as she was doing it, caught it right, turned that fire around,
It's
and shot
probably
it right
Matt.
back at her.
It's probably Matt's wind.
Yeah.
So Thomas says, so can you say anything about how tight the tunnels are? In the first film, Tank had to crawl under one of the crazy tight tunnels, opening your building on the claustrophobic factor.
I'll answer that real quick, and then I'll get back to Ray and Elena. Thomas, thank you for being here. You were a huge supporter in the first film, so thank you for being here.
Thanks, Thomas.
Yeah, I can only say this. I have made sure that there are 4 scenes that are more claustrophobic than that movie. There'd be no reason for me to do a sequel and that's why it took me so long. I was like, I don't want to just repeat what's been done. I want to expand the storyline, but why make a sequel if I can't go further? And I figured out a way to go further. And I actually think it's very exciting, and I've never seen what I came up with in a movie on one part of it. So I'm actually very excited out there because, again, even though it was a very expensive 4K camera, I finally just went, here, Nicole, I can't fit in there. My arm can't fit in there. We're literally going to be burying you with dirt and close you in, and you have 50 feet, and you got to figure out how to get through it. And if you can't, just start screaming, and we'll get
Just
you
get it
out.
on camera.
And it looks absolutely
we'll bury you in the yard.
fantastic. And kudos to her. I don't know how she does it. But yes.
It's fun for sure.
Yeah.
It is fun.
There you go. So back to you guys.
So my question to you, Oak, is what did you learn from the first movie that you took it as a learning experience and helped you make this part 2?
Okay.
Sorry, I gotta pee. I'll be back.
I learned. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna talk about what I learned on the business end of it, because that's a whole thing. But that was a huge learning curve. What I learned about the movie was I'm very rare. I go on all the illegal sites. I read all the reviews. 50% of the people effing hated it. 50% of the people loved it. And I talked to the people that hated it as well as liked it, because I look at it as this. I know what I wanted to come across. And I genuinely went, okay, this person I don't agree with, and I don't argue with them. I actually give them thumbs up, and I'm like, okay, cool. But there were 2 or 3 things that I saw some people, and I went, oh, I actually wanted them to know that. And it made me rewatch it and go, okay, so when I have a larger crew and I have more time, I want to go the extra mile and make sure that the 2 or 3 things that a large group of people, whether they liked it or not, had a problem with, I need to learn. I need to listen to them, because I actually really wanted them to know that, and that's on me. I don't think the movie suffered because of it, but I don't know why I have that ability to not be offended by it. I actually use it as a learning tool. I also go, I know what I had to do. I'm extremely proud of it. I would stand up in front of anybody and go, hey, I'm proud of this, and let's dissect it. We can go through it. But I would say that there were 2 or 3 things that I went, all right, I need to be careful on that. I understood it, but it doesn't seem like even people that loved it didn't understand that. And I need to make sure that I always go on the side of I can't stand movies that spoon feed you information. I can't stand it. But I need to make sure that I don't go too far that way, because sometimes the audience wants to know something and I'm not giving them enough information. So I would say that was the biggest learning curve for me.
I think you do get to know the characters in this movie a bit better than the last time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah. I realized that I had enough time this time, and I have more time to work with the talent that I can give them a more rounded backstory. But I will never make a movie to where literally you have that exposition of like two people in the middle of the scene and somebody goes, I just want to tell you about my father.
When I was 12,
I'm just like,
I had a teddy bear, and it was.
But I
blue.
did go. I do need to figure out a way that I'm comfortable with that lets their background come forth to the audience without it being an exposition. So I would say that. That's what I would say that I learned.
I have one thing that I learned that I'm going to go ahead and share, and it has to do with this mohawk. Because let me tell you, trying to make this Puerto Rican girl's hair white over and over and over again.
My natural hair is like black, basically.
Incredibly difficult. And I warned the first time that if we keep doing this, it's going to break and it's going to fall out.
And it
And
did.
he was like, you know what? It's fine. I know. I trust you. You're great. You can do it. And I'm like, okay, so I kept doing it and kept trying. And there was a time towards the end that
in the first movie, this
a lot of it
section
broke
right
up.
here.
Don't even show. I don't want people to know.
It's fine.
When they watch the movie, I don't
It
want them
literally
to
fell
look
off.
for it.
Not in this movie. In the first
I know.
movie.
I'm still ashamed of that.
We love you anyway, Jamie. It's not your fault.
God.
But here was what it was.
off.
Normally, when you bleach hair, anyways, it's really delicate, so you got to treat it nicely. And I remember it was like the 5th time we bleached it, and she was like, "Now make sure you don't do anything crazy." And that night, we filmed in that dirt tunnel that's really small, and the dirt was actually sod that was like old sod that we got for free. So it was like gravelly and nasty, and I was like dragging my head across the top of it, and it just broke it off.
I literally was like, what's that chunk of stuff sitting there beside
Yeah,
me?
that's my
And she
hair.
went, oh my God, that's my hair. And I was like, oh, damn. Oh, by the way, that brings up something that you're going to love. She actually had her front tooth out in this movie.
Yeah.
And
I was going through dental surgery, and for a while I had no front tooth. I had like a fake flipper thing that just sat in there.
So me being who I am, I went,
use that.
Let me tell you something. We're putting that in the movie. You're going to get hit in the mouth.
There's a
and
whole
she was
scene,
like,
no
no, I'm
tooth.
not. I was like, no, you're going to be toothless.
So if anyone tries to go, you're just sexualizing Tank. I'm like, oh no, he's not. I am toothless and bloody and beat up. So
yeah. So I finally convinced her. So that's not a special effect. She's
Nope.
this is like a real Okie out in the middle of the woods, like,
thanks for sharing that. All right. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna just let me just real quick get him out of here. Okay.
back to the hair. What we decided to do with this. We did start adding the shadow root back, so we didn't have to bleach it quite as often. So for continuity, the root is a little bit shorter, a little bit longer, for different scenes, which I'm sure you'll be able to see some of it, but it does make it easier on our part because otherwise it was bleached white all the way to the scalp. So if it grew, 1/8 of an inch, you could tell a difference. And then also the sides.
This time around, for whatever reason, my body decided it hates bleach. And so all of a sudden she's bleaching. I start getting hot. My ears are hot. I'm like, Jamie, something's not right.
Allergic reactions.
She's
So
like,
I had to change bleaches like 3 times.
She goes, go check your crotch. If your crotch area is swollen, you're having a reaction. So I go in the bathroom and I'm like, it is. I come down like, Jamie.
See, this is what I love.
It's not like 20 minutes, girl.
Yeah, I am a hairstylist. honest. I know a lot of things about allergic
Apparently,
reactions.
when you get allergic reaction, like it goes to like your crotch for no
Well, it's
reason.
not just crotch. It's
For
like
no
it can be like armpits
I don't
or your waist,
That's
Your,
actually
like,
something
tight
we should
areas.
know.
like yeah, like
Actually
like
great
your
to
bra
know.
line
Thank
or
you.
your
Yeah.
waistline of your
Like,
pants. So I was
hey.
like,
Yeah, so I come out of her salon. We were by ourselves, but I come out of her salon. I'm like,
It's an allergic reaction.
I have to
Show me.
check for an allergy.
I need to see if you're allergic to
anyway,
anything in the
this
room.
is now the TMI unit.
Well, I had to change bleaches like 3 different times, and I finally got one this last time that doesn't
It's
seem
not as
to affect
yeah, it's
anything.
not as bad. So
And it's been working really good.
Yeah.
We
So-
usually shave the sides off completely so
Yeah.
you can't tell whenever there's as much growth. You know, this is like about a week.
what she means is as
week's
much
worth of
grays. I'm getting some grays in there.
Gray.
Trying to hide
I'm talking about
those.
continuity. I'm trying to work with continuity of
Oh, they
Puerto
all are
Rican
giving
hair
me
that's
grays.
bleached white. which
That's
is-
why I'm sepia right
Good
now.
luck.
Trust me.
I'm not.
So, what questions do you all have? Like, what are you all curious about?
Well, I do have to apologize, guys. I do have to get going,
That's
Yeah.
fine.
That's good.
but I seriously, you know what? Just a quick throw out there, Oklahoma, with the tidbit about your mom, and then the whole. I took it as like a metaphor for my mom because I'm gonna get a little personal here. My mother, she was diagnosed with cancer. And it was the type of cancer that I did not know what it was, so it was terminal, and she never gave up. She always wanted to fight. She kept
Yeah.
fighting. She did not. She never complained. Bottom line, and
Right.
so now I'm thinking the flashbacks of the scenes of the movie, the way Nicole, the way you're going through, and you're going through, and like you said, it's like it's life. It's real life. You don't win most of the time.
Yeah.
And my mom, she to her last dying breath, she still wanted to live. You know, she
Right.
was young. She was young, and and so now when I watch the movie in a bit, and it brings a whole new
Yeah.
meaning for the movie, and then I
Yeah.
can't wait for the new movie. And thank you, seriously, thank you for sharing. The information that you did, and you guys are awesome. You guys rock, and I'm very, very, very excited for the new movie. And good luck.
You're
Thank
right.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good luck,
for
seriously.
I'm really sorry to hear about your mom.
Oh, thank you. But
Yeah.
I don't see it as a bad thing. I see it as like you said. It just gotta keep fighting. Gotta keep going.
It's a
Yeah.
positive
It is.
outlook on this show.
It is truthfully, since you brought that up, I'll share this with you real quick, and then you go. First of all, thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Second of all, yeah, it is my allegory for life. I know that we celebrate winners or people that make a lot of money, and I'm not trying to take that away from them.
Mhm.
But I go, to me, it's the struggle, and it's the people that just keep going. Those people need to be celebrated just as much, and I admire that just as much as somebody who wins the MVP award or anything like that. And I truly do believe that.
Yeah.
Because I've met so many people in my life, because only so many people can be up there. And I go, what about the other 90% that are working every day and they never give up? And I go, that to me is just as beautiful as the people who work their ass off and they get that one little extra notch.
Yeah.
And I go, that's kind of what my artwork when I was a painter, that's what all my movies are about underneath. But I don't like to preach. I want people to have fun and just kind of get that on their own.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you saying that. That actually means a lot to me because that is in the end what I'm trying to show. And I think that's what you guys are doing here. You guys are spending your time talking to us. That's what these guys are doing here. They show up at a garage, working crazy hours, and we're just trying and working hard. So thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
We love this
Bye, man.
Thank you.
Thank
you
so
for
much.
being
here. It's nice to meet you.
Elena's still here.
Okay, so tell us now about what the Kickstarter is, and how does one become a backer? How does one pledge something? Do we get anything out of it, or what comes along with that? What explain to us what all that is?
Is that on me?
That'd be you.
Okay, well, I have some fun photos, but so basically what Kickstarter is it helps us to we're raising post-production funds right now, so we need a little bit of money to help us finish post-production faster, because if we don't raise this, then we basically have to just go work our jobs, and it'll take a lot longer. But what it is you can donate an amount of money, and we have different things that are called perks, and you get different perks for different amounts that you donate. Because we definitely didn't want to just come on and be like, give us handouts or give us money, because we just didn't feel right doing that. So why we like Kickstarter is we can offer things back to the fans or people that want to be involved in the movie. So for instance, we have things like these jackets that we're selling that are from the movie. They're Try Hard Company, which is the company that all these soldiers are in the
That's
movie.
Jeremy.
We have these really cool posters that we're selling. You can get them digitally, or you can get a hard copy signed.
That's me and Nicole.
Right. We're offering like
That's
these
actually an actor named Dan in the movie.
bullet USB hard drive or USB sticks, and you'll get the comic book and the movie on those. For one of the higher perks, you can actually get my gun that was used in the first movie and the second movie. And it is a real metal airsoft gun that I've been using. And if you go to our page, there's like we made these little things that kind of show what comes with each perk and how much to donate.
Whose Black Mohawk is that?
Also, if you get if you get Tank's gun, also note that it is also incorporated in a thumper scene. That
Yes.
was very
It's
uncomfortable
painful.
and authentic.
Painful.
It's been
We're also right now.
It has seen some things.
We're also running.
Felt some
You guys are crazy. We're running a contest right now for anybody that's a backer. You can enter for a chance to win a GIF made of you. So I've been making these GIFs for the movie of each character, and all these people that you see here will have one. But you can get your photo made into one of these GIFs, and all you have to do is become a backer. The rules are in the backer updates section. But they're really cool, and we're running weekly contests where you get to win like cool prizes. So for instance, the first week somebody won my actual knife from the movie that I used throughout the whole movie. So yeah, it's a really cool platform that if you donate and help out, you also get something in return to do with the movie.
There's also a scene, I don't know if we have pictures of it, where your character, you pick up little children and use this shield.
You stop.
Yeah,
That wasn't even
That
filming,
didn't
that's just
happen.
what I do.
Anyway.
that's just butcher.
So if you want to donate, you can go to the website. It's crawlerdietrilogy.com, and there's links on there to show you where to donate and everything. We got I think we're at like 2 weeks left, or about 2 weeks left on the campaign. So yeah, every dollar counts, seriously. And we've had people feel bad about they can only give a certain amount, and I promise you, no donation amount is too small at all. I don't care if you have $1. I don't care if whatever amount. We are grateful for every dollar. So
What you guys were saying the other day about how many backers there are makes a big difference also, not just the amount of money, really stuck with me, because I know there's a lot of people that do want to help, but not everybody has the money. So it doesn't, that's the other thing. It's not just about how big your donation would be. The amount of backers and supporters makes a big difference in the future as far as who might be following us and helping out with possibly the next one.
And spreading the word. So if you can't, let's say you can't donate at all, and I know there's people in that position, and that's cool. Just sharing and getting the word out, because you never know. It could be your coworker, it could be your great aunt Mildred that's like, I have $10.
Mildred loves
This
Proud
looks
Guy.
great. And they want to
Oh,
donate.
Don't
So,
all Mildreds love Proud
right,
Guy?
I'm just saying. You
Has
never
anybody
know.
met somebody named Mildred?
You know what, you guys?
Yes,
I haven't.
I love it for all
Do
of
you
that.
really?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and she loved
I
Proud
mean, I haven't, but
Guy.
I'm just saying, donations can come from the weirdest places. I remember the last 2 campaigns that we ran, we got some woman that lived in Egypt that randomly heard about our movie, and she gave like
oh yeah,
$5,000 or something crazy. So
yeah.
you never know what your reach will give. So even if you just share it on your Facebook or Twitter or whatever, it
And
helps.
it truly does keep Nicole off the pole.
Listen, I like the poll, but I'm tired. I'm tired.
In one whole night, she could raise $11.
I go for them one. I'm the high roller.
Always back indie films. and
She
stuff like
gained
all
11.
that.
Give me those
Thanks,
wrinkly
Thomas.
ones.
Straight up. Can you pull up the comments back so we can read?
Yeah, and also,
yeah,
hey, Thomas, I see that you're on there right before I get back to Elena. Hey, look, we'd love to talk to you again. So
yeah, we loved it being on
Yeah.
your show the last time. We would love to be
Yeah.
on again. We love your show. Thank you
Right.
so much.
So
Always back in
Elena,
the films.
why were you not down here to be in the movie? Because you have that beautiful face. Why?
Them dimples though, girl.
I don't
stop.
know. Why didn't I come
Bring
down
that
here
beautiful
for
mug over here.
movie?
Get over here. You just.
As everybody here will
Tell
attest,
me.
they all had to pay me money, and you didn't. No, I'm teasing you.
Yeah, we all pay to be here. That's.
I
for
think
sure.
COVID ended up screwing with a lot of our
Yeah.
initial plans, but yeah, here we are.
Yeah, I think we were lucky to be in the certain settings where COVID didn't affect us in a negative way. It actually
Yeah.
probably helped it because people were not at work for different reasons, and there's lots of stuff that we couldn't be doing with multiple people. So numerous times there was only 3 people on set working or 4 people on set, so it actually worked very well.
We did take precautions. We had hand sanitizer and stuff available, so we made sure to be safe. But we also talked to everyone that auditioned. We said, look, we're gonna be safe. We're not gonna be like making out with each other or anything, but we're in tunnels, so it is gonna be a risk. Want to take that
I
risk?
had to tell you.
Dang
that.
I'm not saying that didn't happen on the side, but you
There's
know.
quite a few relationships
Wait a
like
minute,
that like
what?
nobody makes out ever. Ew. Gross.
Oak and Jeremy were in a tunnel alone one time for quite a while. I'm not gonna say anything. but-
I mean, I will say that all of our relationships got closer.
Jeremy does
because
wear a kilt in the film. So.
I was
I was gonna say it's better to see scopes. This guy here
scope.
from the front end versus
Yeah,
the
he
back
does wear a
end.
kilt
in the
So
whole
where's
movie.
the kilt?
I have
Some
been
people followed him up a ladder and found that out the hard way.
Yeah.
Bell tower.
me. I had to follow up a ladder. No, he was going down. That's
Right
what it was.
sideways.
The camera view of the kilt coming down the ladder into the
It was
water
beautiful.
table was
Yeah.
I mean, we know each other very well.
No, he's not saying anything.
Jeremy's
He's
like,
just like, I don't
great,
give a damn.
Didn't you guys have your the bar crawl yesterday?
Wait,
What'd
what?
you say?
Say that
You
again?
didn't have the bar crawl?
No, that's going. So we were going to do it
Not
this weekend, but we found out we were going to do it next weekend.
Right.
But there's actually a huge event going on for the
Tulsa Massacre.
Tulsa the
event
the
this
massacre.
weekend.
It's the anniversary of the Tulsa Massacre,
Yeah.
so we're actually moving it to the weekend following that.
Yeah.
So it'll be in two weekends.
We
from
thought
now.
it'd be a little disrespectful
It'd be really
for everything
rude.
that was going on.
We
so
didn't realize-
decided to wait till the next weekend.
Yeah, there's gonna be like
Yeah.
speakers in town and stuff for the the Black community that had the massacre in Tulsa. So we're moving that to the following weekend instead.
So it will be
This
done.
filming was done yesterday?
We did film a little bit last night, and we're filming some more tonight. So after this, we will probably go live again with like a filming live that you can see behind the scenes stuff going on, and then we'll be doing lives all next week too. So
And so you're coming down to do the live interview on the last weekend? Cool. Be great to see you. Love you.
Yeah, you're gonna do all the hair and all
I
the
got some
lighting.
Jaeger.
Jamie's like, all right.
Oh, okay. Sounds like a plan. Just guys, let me know.
Okay, we will do that. Well, Elena, I super appreciate you doing this for us. Seriously.
Oh,
Thank
that's awesome that you had the time to actually talk to us. I know my other buddy couldn't be here. He just got out of work like just a little bit before the live, so I didn't want to. I don't want to push him, so I'm sure he's watching this.
I do see everybody behind you in the camera there.
Yeah, who's
You
your
know, again, like,
We saw
like you said, if they don't have, okay, you know what? I don't have any money, Nikki. What do I do?
Yeah.
You're just gonna tell them, just keep supporting, sharing, retweeting,
Yes. Tell
hashtags,
just sharing it, or even go
What's
if you
the
can
hashtags?
people the hashtag. So it's hashtag crawlerdie2 to the number 2, and then hashtag tank army is the 2 hashtags that we're promoting. So either of those will work, or both. And then the link is just our website, crawlerdietrilogy.com, and that'll take you and show you everything you need to see. So
Yeah. And then we're gonna be going crazy on the last we've done these before, and the last 5 days are insane. We'll probably be on 24/7. She'll be sleeping on camera. I'll be talking, then I'll sleep a little. Like we'll go. We won't stop. We'll go all the way through. And if you and your friend want to come on again and talk a little bit. We'll be sleep deprived or what?
Deprived.
Deprived.
Oh, make some words.
Okay.
You might be sleep deprived right now.
Hey, it's been fun. Gotta go. Yeah, I mean, we really appreciate this because it helps us. And I will say this: I have a lot of friends that reach out to me, even family members, who are like, I mean, is $1 rude? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
$1 helps because everybody sees, oh, well, that person gave $1, I give $1, and then all of a sudden 25 people do it, and then you're $25 closer. Yeah. So, I don't know why people are ashamed to do that, but yeah, that helps just as much as anything else does.
Yes, for sure. And there are some really cool prizes or rewards that you can buy. So
yeah,
I hope you guys will check them out at least and see what you can get from the movie.
So when you actually post the video, just make sure you put the link to your the fund. It's not a GoFundMe. What is it? Kickstarter.com.
Yeah.
So because on a few posts I noticed that it wasn't on there, and I couldn't figure out how to log in. So maybe if you post it after each video, that would help, so people aren't searching.
Yes, absolutely.
Agreed.
I'll post it in the description, like on each post, and then I'll also put it in the comments just to make sure it's there twice and they can find it easily.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that you should really promote more the hashtags when you're tweeting, because I noticed there's a lot more people on Twitter than there is on Facebook.
Yeah, Twitter's our main hub for promotion for sure.
So using the hashtags, because I saw that you guys were trending the other day, #2.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was insane.
We definitely
have a screenshot of that.
Huh? I didn't. I actually wasn't aware on Twitter. We got one the other day from Google that we were trending, but I didn't see the Twitter one. That's amazing.
Was it? Yeah, it wasn't on Twitter. Wait, didn't you post one on there, or which one was it? I thought it was Twitter.
It was Google.
That was Google.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
it was Google.
What Google does is it takes all the social platforms and it goes what is being talked about the most. And we were trending #2 above Ford and their new Ford electric Mustang, and right below
Spider-Man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
That's impressive.
Because I actually did my investigation, and literally their promotion budget is more than what it cost them to make the movie. And we have a production budget of a bag of Fritos and Red Bull. Hey, Red Bull, if you want to sponsor us.
And some string
and then also, I think somebody brought a bottle of alcohol and set, but that's what our PR campaign is run off of. And so I think sometimes Hollywood notices this, but I don't think people like relatives and friends understand how insane that is. If you look at the promotion budget for Ford and the promotion budget for Spider-Man, and then we're like, hey, here's us in the garage. Hey,
we pee in a bucket.
And,
that's not true, by the way. Nobody's
but-
peeing in buckets. It's a joke.
We used to.
But what that is our fans internationally just retweeting the hashtags and talking about us on different platforms. And it's how I get the deals. And it means more than the money in the end game. It really does. So, I was extremely proud of that. Ran up to some of my relatives and they were like, cool. But then I got 2 phone calls from people in the industry who literally the first questions out of their mouth were, what's your budget? What PR firm are you using? And I was like, I'm using the PR firm of please support us. And they didn't believe me. They absolutely think that I have some PR firm in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I'm not sharing that PR firm with them. I go, okay, well, I don't know what you think. I mean, Nicole had to borrow a roll of toilet paper from our neighbors the other day. I don't know why you think I can afford a PR firm, but that's our fans.
I had to borrow a new bucket.
So that's a big deal. Levi LaFleur and GarageBand for the audio.
Close. We use a Soundtrack Pro.
Oh, it says, and that's still a better love story than Twilight.
Yeah.
Facts. No, I like Twilight.
I like Twilight too.
Don't hear me.
No, please don't
Get
get
out of here.
started on Twilight. Come on, Spider Monkey. That's when they lost me. I was like,
Jump
oh
on,
my
Spider
God.
Monkey.
But anyway.
Romantic. You didn't get it? No.
Oh man.
Well,
All
I
right,
think
Elena.
I'm
We
done
love
for
you.
the night.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this. We love you. I hope we
All right.
get you out here pretty soon.
Guys, soon. Hope to meet everybody else. I only met Jamie. I don't think I met anybody else. Did I?
Yeah, no, I didn't have this whole
We
crew
didn't know them
when I
yet.
came out here.
It was brief too. We didn't really get to hang out last
Yeah,
night.
I
But
know.
let me say this, Elena, I want to do this for you. In some way, Nicole and I have talked about this. We're going to try to figure out a way, either if the campaign goes through, and if it doesn't, we're going to figure out something else. We'd like to get you down here to meet everybody, kind of do like a live thing and have you interview and talk to us and everything. And I love the hell out of you, girl. Like, thank you so much. You're my longest and best friend that I've ever had. And I will never forget that about you. And I love
He says that because I know all his dark secrets.
Exactly. I've heard of
actually
you.
does know all
I
my
know a lot of stuff.
He's got to keep you close.
We're gonna have to talk. We're gonna
No.
have to talk
You
more.
gotta
Elena.
come back
No.
out here.
I
No,
need
you
to know
don't.
some things.
I hope to get to know you guys. Thanks, Miss Elena. You rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to bring
Yeah,
Larry on, but
comments.
Larry has a tendency to be nude.
Yeah,
So
Larry
we
does.
decided not to do that.
Larry.
But anyway,
He likes to sit
Thanks
on the
so
other
much.
end of his computer naked.
a
All
lot.
right, I hope to do this again right before maybe the campaign closes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds
No.
great.
That'd be
Like
good.
a different date and different audience, and see if we can actually have another guest on.
Yeah, that'd
That
be
sounds
great.
great.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Elena.
Bye.